Good day and welcome to Creative Talk, and I'm chilling with my comrades. Viva, 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 viva.
At least today you're not calling us leadership, ne?
Hey, leaders.
No, yes, why ngithi ama comrades?
Yeah.
Ngingabheka amakhala ngathi MK.
And me?
Ngathi PA.
Yo. Or some place it's already.
And then when?
No, ngingabheka ngathi
Sundowns.
mina.
It's not political. Mara yini so switchy.
Me I'm fine. I'm not political party egcoka
I
kanje.
also say Pirates. It's Sundowns.
In Paris,
Chief
I'm in
Sinyana,
Paris.
I think, bona.
Ayijikile. Paris. Yeah.
How you doing though?
I'm cool and you?
You're looking good. As usual.
I nearly said as always. I'm scared, guys. I apologize.
But
Okay, but I'm supposed to say thank you. Ne?
yes, you must be humble and say,
Thank you.
no,
And
thank
Gugu,
you.
you're also looking pretty though.
Thank you so much.
You know, last time when I was at the Freedom Park, you were stunning, darling.
Bro, without makeup,
No,
big
but you
brows.
guys looked proper. Yeah?
brows.
Is it?
When you
So
came,
yes.
hey, it was easy to get interviews.
Exactly.
It was easy to get
Exactly.
interviews. You know?
So nice.
I'm just saying, we are there where the beautiful ladies are.
And you were so hands-on, you know?
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I'm
you were
like
so
that.
hands-on.
Hey, I mean, there was a
All over.
journalist who was on my face every time. I don't know how many pictures he took of me, hey? So it means I was looking good.
Oh, that guy, ne?
you were.
From which media house is
I
it?
don't know, but yeah,
Isn't
he
it
was.
from newsroom, maybe?
I think so, hey?
Maybe, ne?
Shame
you
he
must
was-
check the page and I'll
Hey,
check.
and
Okay, because
I almost said something.
that guy and Eve are nearly connected. Yo.
not
Even-
correct, hey?
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, let's talk about what are we here for. So this week, I share what's again. Piloka club tlhoko ne. Presley o re siile batho. Hey,
Condolences to the family.
yeah,
sad.
hey.
So sad. Do you know what happened?
No, I don't know, hey. I think when I checked media last night, I realized that the family didn't want to talk what happened. But I think this morning they did say something.
Could be natural
So
causes.
was there a family statement?
Yeah,
there
they
was.
did, but they said
There was.
nothing about the
There was.
passing. Yeah.
Yo, it touched
I mean,
a
this
lot of
guy,
people.
he did a lot in the industry. I remember Katsotsi. Everybody knew him, Katsotsi, right? But
Yeah.
recently, I think he was on the river.
Yeah, he was in the river as
Adlala, King Cobra or something.
Cobra.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I saw people like mimicking him on social media. I'm
Really?
like, how? Hakishabili TV akere.
Yeah.
You understand?
So on
You know what I'm
social
saying?
media?
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't watch TV.
So yeah. But I don't know Vosi Batu. Vosi
Vosi who?
Lieu. Apparently he's been appointed to represent Gauteng, the National Arts Council, and also he's representing KZN on the DSEC sectors. But people apparently are happy. But how come Lieu are represented on both sides?
How come? Abaye kuvus.
Nakhona mabathi,
Abamnyeke.
Yeah,
when you say people,
yeah.
who are people?
Creative,
Like where did you
some creatives, not all the
Yeah,
creatives.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I checked the information on Arm for the Arts on social media, and I think there's this MGE group.
Yeah.
Someone said it,
Yeah.
but then people didn't want to entertain it, which was okay for me. But my problem is, I don't know, why are they having a problem? How many people are actually sitting in different boats? What is wrong with that?
The thing is, with these things in this country, I think it's always going to be difficult trying to make everybody happy. I just don't know the details of what you guys are talking about. But you are saying he's representing KZN, right?
Yeah.
And on one hand, representing Gauteng.
Yeah.
And for me personally, I've always said I'm opposed to us being divided using provinces or all these things, because it says to us as a community that you can't actually grow your business around the country. You know, it means if you're from Free State, they're saying only work in Free State.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure about the issue of Vosi, because maybe there are rules that when you are representing people in such and such a sector, if you are saying you are from KZN,
Yeah.
let
Yeah.
it be truthfully be
Yeah,
from
yeah. But my
KZN.
question
So that
is-
one I can't really say
yeah.
much about, but I'm saying I just have a problem where they say we only want artists from Joburg and not artists from Pietermaritzburg, from Gauteng,
from
and then
Gauteng.
if you're in Gauteng, you can't be booked
Yeah.
in.
But how come is it an issue for him? There's many people who are leading, like guys are my example of people who are leading in so many boards. But why are they like, yeah, but why Vosi? You know, and they're also dragging in the Samic thing. You know, but here's a Samic scandal, which is not even,
Okay, I'm going to make a good example.
yeah.
You know, I'm lucky these guys are my friends.
Yeah.
I saw on the sectors, they say Evh'a.
Yes.
Evh'a is in Gauteng for SIFs,
Yeah.
right? But in the sectors, he's Limpopo.
Yeah. Like Evh'a
So
as well.
if you are blaming Vusi,
yeah.
then it's going to
Blame the
go to
rest.
Drag
Evh'a,
all of them.
and then it's going to go to,
Exactly.
you said like
Yes,
Evh'a.
even myself, yes. I'm in the dance sector and I'm
Okay.
originally from Free State.
Okay.
And I stay here. Mara ntse ke bua Sesotho. Ke tseba poleke ya ka in and out.
Yeah, then it means, let me ask you a question. I'm glad you put yourself on the spot.
Yeah.
I think what might be creating a problem
Yeah.
might be the fact that you guys claim to be representing people of Free State. And which is why I've always said, guys, stop this
How do you
demarcation
mean?
when you are employed. You know,
How
yourself.
do you mean?
Defend.
By your statement,
Bare.
how do you mean?
okay, why are you saying in the dance sector you are representing Free State?
I am.
It-
Okay, let
explain
me put
that.
it this way. Remember, people, actually, the application when it came out, we applied. I applied for a post, right, to be on the board. And then we were taken out as 10 people, no, 20-something people, right? And then they said, let people vote. So now, how can I apply? Babu tsitse gore o tswa ko kae? Ke re I'm originally from Free State. And I would like to represent Free State. And I have my reasons why.
Okay.
Yes.
So you didn't claim to be based in
No,
Free State. You said you
no.
want to.
Yes, I want to
because,
represent my
if
province.
that's the case, then it's fine.
Yes, and
because
I was voted by majority of the people that are coming from Free State.
if that's the case, then
Yes.
it's fine. I mean, remember.
There's nothing wrong
Yeah,
with it.
it's like
Yeah.
you can be a leader. I know with the ANCNEC,
Yeah.
you can be from a certain area, but they say you go look after that province. You know, they have this provincial people from the ANC that
Yes.
go to various provinces because, like I said, for me, South Africa is one, but
Yeah.
I don't know the merits of the scandals. Savus.
And also look at it this way. We might be arguing about this whole thing with Guti. Arthur, because he's from Gauteng, he must represent Gauteng. What if Arthur doesn't have the expertise that this particular work yadi sector ya ibatla? Because that's
Or
what the
maybe
problem
living
is.
four
Yes.
from Gauteng.
Yeah,
ne?
yeah.
4 talented people
Yes.
that are good enough to lead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you go to maybe a certain province
Yeah.
where there's no one who can compete with these 4.
Yeah.
What do you do, Bill?
You find
You see?
someone else
You have
who
to
can.
allocate them. Hence, I don't like this thing of these demarcations that you are from there, you can't do this. For me, I feel like re kgutlisa dintho tsa
Yeah.
di-colonials.
But this agenda against Vusi, I think it's kind of coming from a personal background. You know, maybe there's some people pushing it because they're only complaining about him in the sectors. Why him?
ke re shapa boss pele.
And also we
Remember
have-
ke president to shapa president pele.
But
And then a
President
president when the president is taking you go to the Evh'as. Baeza na go.
You come after me. Hey, bona kotsi, o tlo e bona.
Also that's why o buile ka ntho o batla e defend ka style.
No,
wa.
I can't
What
defend it. I'm just
threatening,
raising facts. I'm just raising facts because remember we also have Lisiba, right? Lisiba, where is he based?
Now in Limpopo.
In Limpopo.
Now in Limpopo.
But then when
Yeah, all along he was here.
he was here.
Yes.
He
So
was
it's not
here.
an
Yeah, but
issue.
So
maybe
what is
that's
wrong with
why
that?
in a group where everybody was, it didn't really, because everybody is affected one way
Yeah.
or the other. Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing, I'll give an example.
Yeah.
Ne? If you are to look at the late Zahar, she was staying in Gauteng,
Yeah.
but she would say
She's from Eastern Cape.
she's
Eastern
from Eastern
Cape.
Cape.
Yeah.
DJ Tira, for an example.
Exactly.
KZN.
Where is DJ Tira based?
In
Because
KZN.
I see him as a Gauteng,
No, he's based in
No,
Durban.
he's based in KZN.
but where does he stay?
in Durban.
Yeah,
How-
no, he stays in Durban.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
He
saw
stays
they
in
were
Durban.
shooting some reality
Yeah,
show.
but there's
Nabo
quite a
Babes.
number of them,
Yeah,
obviously.
he's in Durban.
Yeah, but let's talk about
How?
Vusi. I think Vusi, you are right to say, not that you are right.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure if there's someone who's really after him, but I guess maybe they're also connecting to the stories as Samik. Or Samik was funded by the department and
Yeah.
DTI, and yet they failed to report. And remember, Vusi was part of Samik.
He was part of SAMIC, but he was not there when the monies were there. Remember when
Oh,
Vusi was president
okay.
of SAMIC, they didn't get funds. It got deregistered. It got registered.
Wait,
there was a lot of...
No, the thing is, I'm concerned about this thing, and hence I'm saying it's dividing the country. It's like we're back to these colonies and where they say where you're from what, and Stone, for example.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where does Stone live?
I don't know.
Joburg.
In Gauteng, right?
Yes.
Where is
He's
he from?
Northwest.
But he's an ambassador in Northwest.
Exactly.
So what's the
this
issue?
thing, exactly. That's why I'm saying I struggle to understand what you guys are trying
Remember
to say.
when I said Maninga mene? Now they are showing.
No, remember I raised it because I just didn't understand. I know a lot of businessmen that are sitting in different boats. You were at Samro at some point, and then, is it Risa?
Mina ngena phuma province lapho.
No, I'm just saying sitting in different boards.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not talking about provinces
Yes.
now. And I don't see anything wrong with that. Like myself, I sit in different boards as well.
Yeah.
And these different boards,
Maybe
they
this one is
represent
trying to
things
say, I'm
nationally.
in different boards, guys. Eva, tell us about your boards. No, we'll give you the platform.
It's not about me.
Just making an example.
Mara
You know
bua ka
why?
di-province, motho o re jwetsa ka di-boards.
Eva, in a nutshell, you just feel it's unfair that they are taking
No,
votes.
in a nutshell, she wants us to know about her boards. Eva,
Okay.
say it.
All right,
Which
now-
other board? Mention them.
Listen, I am the co-lead of WECON, now Women
Nazo.
Economic Assembly.
Yes,
and
girl.
The co-lead,
My interview, lifestyle
all right,
podcast,
the
done, gone,
co-lead.
finished. We
Yeah.
are no more inviting her because already.
Oh, so you see, you don't want me to tell.
Continue. We're listening.
So I sit in the board, SIGA, the Cultural and Creative Industries Guild of Africa, not
Yebo,
just
ma'am.
South Africa, Africa,
Yes,
darling,
ma'am.
okay? And now
Wena
I'm
mara
the
nga ba
part
kgotlisa
of-
Jem early.
No, I get the pro.
Shem, o ka re o tlamehile o presenter ne?
Berekile,
Na admire Jem
berekile.
early too much ne? Yena ba tlo
Yeah,
etsa
no, of course.
100 years later.
And I saw you presented the other day, Ko Jem Eli.
Ke
No,
tsang?
I'm just saying,
He was a guest.
He was
No,
a
I
guest.
like it when you do this.
Oh, is
Do it
it?
again.
No, it shows for
I'm on the
ke
board of-
berekile mo industry yes, so I deserve to be on those boards. All right?
It's again, I'm on the board of what?
Let's talk about downtown because apparently Vusi Leo, I don't know, at some point he was the CEO, acting CEO.
He was a CEO. That one I know for a fact.
Because you were working there.
I was an intern.
She
No, I
was
was an
working there.
intern.
I remember
I
when
was
you were
an
meeting and then you had the
intern.
reception.
Yeah. I was an intern.
No, this one was working at downtown. I remember.
I wasn't working. I was
Yes.
an intern.
Oh,
I was
okay.
a sound engineering intern.
Oh, okay.
No, but you
Yeah.
were at the reception.
I can't remember pesha. I was my intern.
Yes.
Not pesha.
You
You know.
were working at downtown. That's why you know all these things. Tell us
So-
about it.
No, not all the things.
So what's happening? What's happening? Why people are not paid for 2 months
Motsware,
at downtown?
Eva, Motsware.
Yes.
And as my finances, me, I was just an intern. I was doing
Yeah.
sound. I was doing studio sound, lighting sometimes. So as a man,
So
but what I do know,
who owns downtown?
okay,
When
what?
the sound engineering on
Studio-
an office desk. Hey, that's interesting, man.
No, not office desk. I was not at the desk at the reception every
Hey,
day.
man, mina ngikubona
But every
ku-desk.
time I was always at Studio One.
Bofuna
Studio
lapho
One.
kule-
Pretty face in the front
Because I
line.
saw you there.
Google stay maza, ke mang o
Pretty face
ownang
in the
downtown?
front line. No, what
Ke nyaka
I
go
know,
tlhaloganya.
it's not a fact, but it's what I think. Gore It's pre-owned by the government.
Which government? Which
This-
Your
department?
government.
Yeah?
Sports
Your
arts and
government.
culture.
Which department?
Arts and culture.
Okay, let me open something. Keep on. I mean, go on. Go
Nana,
on.
I said
No, la ka tswela pele.
it's
He owned like a
pre-owned.
government.
Yeah.
They own like a government.
It's
Yeah.
pre-owned.
All right.
But I don't think there's an actual
Is
owner.
NAC government?
What?
National Arts Council government?
As I carry NAC afanda. Let's find
Problem
No,
ka,
no.
oh yeah, no. What
Yes,
Eva is
Kikopo.
saying is,
Yeah, I'm
is
asking.
NAC government or is it funded by government? Are you trying to say it's a statutory body or a regulatory body?
You tell me.
No, I
Because
can't like it.
read
Government.
I
So
read something on Sunday World.
Okay.
And the argument here is downtown, apparently, it was funded 93,300,000 and something thousand since 2008. till
apparently, ne?
Yes. Okay, I'm going to read what's written here by
It's
Sunday
from
World.
Sunday World.
Okay,
But what
yes.
point are you trying to make? You
So
just trying
now, I'm going back to my question because here's what it says. Downtown was initiated by the Department of Arts and Culture in 2008.
Okay.
It aimed to improve
want to
access to
check what
professional
you're reading.
recording
Yeah.
facilities for the South African music industry. As the department could not directly acquire immovable property, the NAC acted as a conduit for the acquisition, into downtown, right? Said NAC. This was possible because the NAC's founding legislation permits it to acquire immovable property. The NAC's annual financial statements reflect ownership of the building, thereby formally recognizing the downtown as an asset of the NAC.
Yeah.
And then,
Skat.
okay.
So,
Wait,
at the
is
time-
NAC not an entity of the arts and culture?
It is, but
So-
hence I'm saying,
And
Guti,
is the arts and culture not government?
It is.
but here's the thing. Remember, wait.
happening,
Was
guys?
it yesterday or the day before yesterday? I was
Yeah.
watching the portfolio committee, where the NAC actually is denying the fact that they are government.
They are
The NAC,
denying.
hence I
Yes.
asked whether is it a statutory body or
So hence my question, is it government NAC now?
that's what we need to find out.
Exactly.
Okay.
And now here's the interesting part. At the time, both the DSEC and NAC, by the time they were questioned, were unable to account for the 93 million. Between DSEC and NAC, it is still not clear who owns downtown.
Yeah.
Hence I'm asking.
Owners, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, ownership, I don't
Because
I have no
from what
idea.
Evh'a is saying, she's basically saying the NAC is a power unto itself. And if
Exactly.
that's the case,
Yes.
these young people that are sitting here are
Yeah.
then going to say, okay, we apply to NAC for funding, right?
Okay.
And who funds the NAC? They will say it's the arts and culture.
Yeah.
And then if the NAC is not government, why are the board members elected by
Government.
the minister of the
Yeah.
government?
Exactly.
So hence I'm saying it's owned by government. Because how do you impose your power on something that's not run by you?
So, gahle, even downtown.
Because
my
the board
understanding,
members
exactly.
were elected by the minister.
Yes.
So if the board members are elected by the minister,
Yeah.
as much as they are complaining about Vusi,
Yeah.
where are they directing the complaint to? To the
To
minister.
government.
To the
Exactly.
minister.
So how would he impose himself on a body that's not government? Hence I'm saying NAC for me is still government.
It's still government.
Unless
So in a
if
nutshell,
I
the
might
downtown
be
is
vaguely
owned
saying
by the
that.
government.
Sorry?
It is owned by the government.
Should it-
As far
owned
as
by
I
the
know,
Yes.
it's
Then
owned
as
by
far as I
government.
know, because remember it was initiative by DSEC. But I'm not too sure in terms of the constitution as to how DSEC could not claim it
Yeah.
as an asset to
Yeah.
them.
I mean, I only
And the
know
reason why
that
they
when
used NAC.
it was about to be bought,
Yeah.
we were called to downtown,
Okay.
and there was this single person that raised his hand and he said,
Yeah.
this is wasteful expenditure. And guess
Yeah,
what?
man.
I was booed at, and I still have a video. Because by then I was training young people how to shoot.
Yeah,
Around
yeah.
that 2008, it was before the World Cup.
Okay.
I raised my hand and said, why is government buying downtown? Because the days of owning such expensive studios in this country are coming to an end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because all of us are doing hits on our small computers.
Yeah.
They said, no, young artists will come and record. How many artists recorded there since 2008
And then mind
to
you,
date?
those recordings.
Now usebenze khona mhlambe ne-recording awunayo.
No.
Yase downtown.
You have to pay.
So,
Kanjani?
but
You have to
then,
pay.
You
No,
have to
but
pay
yes.
93 million in ile ingandi.
I have no idea, but when you book the studio, there's a fee for a studio. Let me estimate for 1 hour. At Studio One at downtown is 550 for an hour.
I'm confused.
You book the studio, you pay because
downtown
there's
is
an
a
engineer
good
that has.
resource,
Yeah.
but it's a resource that needs to be well planned for.
Yeah.
They need to plan for it properly. You know, there's people that have done, we have discovered artists, we have done talent things and whatever around this world. They need to put like-minded people and say, how do you help the society
Yeah.
using downtown?
Yeah.
But for it to be bought and they said they were going to run a successful studio business, I said no then,
Iphi manje
2008.
successful?
I'm
Iphi?
saying no,
Oh.
2009, 2010, 2025. I'm still saying no. We're about to be 30 years maybe since then. Or
Yeah, maybe.
Is it 20 years?
I don't know.
Since 2008 or whatever that time
Yeah.
that was when I was born.
Yeah.
Till
Iphi
today,
manje
I've-
downtown sinking.
You know what, guys, I'm confused, and I really need you to clear my confusion because there's 93 million over those years
Where
that has
did it
been given
go?
to downtown. And I want to find out from you, because it seems like you know a lot about
Natsa
downtown.
ditjhelete ke a di tshaba ke.
93
Ha ke
million
rate
here,
dibuo
in only
tseo.
for
And before I
operational-
got
wait,
there-
Whenever you
can I ask
discuss
my
those
question?
You run.
But wait, can I ask my question? Because I
Yeah.
really need clarity. There's
Okay.
something very interesting that I want to read here.
Okay.
But before that, I just need you guys to, clarify at this point. 93 million in Elia eng. Go patala di salary, the building, the Nandos. Like really?
No, but before I got
Remember, she worked there.
Yeah,
So
when I-
millions and in
No,
Yeah.
wait. I got to downtown, right?
Yeah.
Under a new leadership. So a person that I was working with very close, he used to tell me, the previous CEO used to buy us mangoes every day. Lunch.
And who was the
lunch."
previous CEO? Okay, okay, it's fine. Go on.
Lunch, drinks, they'll be drinking there, they'll be, And then the new CEO came in and changed the rules. No, guys, you can't bring your own food.
Okay.
And we can't be
I
having
like the new
alcohol.
CEO though. She came to our workshop.
No,
at the
not
plot.
that one.
Not that one, the
I'm talking-
previous one.
Yeah, I like
Oh,
this
okay.
one. The lady that came to the plot. For
But
our
people
workshop.
are not paid
you
for
know
2
what
months.
she did?
Under leadership.
But now she changed the rules entirely. Now, when you go and record at downtown, artists, they drink, they smoke, some of them.
Yeah.
That
know.
lady.
She doesn't want them. She cuts
Yes.
alcohol. She said no
Exactly.
alcohol will
She
come in
looks
downtown.
too disciplined.
When
That's
you
why I
want
said
to
I like her.
smoke,
Like me, no?
Because she looks like somebody that would bring that place to order. And I'm sure wherever she is at the moment,
But artists
she
ran
might be the most
away.
frustrated because
Yeah.
we're listening to her speak
Yeah, I remember.
there at our
I
workshop.
remember.
She was like,
But
proper,
now,
even asked, this one can take downtown.
But people
somewhere."
are not paid for 2 months under her
No.
leadership. What's going on?
Yeah,
People are
and
not
people are
paid for
being
2 months
fired.
under her leadership.
people have been
Two what?
fired.
2 months, no salaries.
And they've got fired. The
But
best
who's-
engineers at downtown are fired.
But are you trying to say that she's withholding money or the government is
We
not
don't
giving?
know. Let me read something very interesting to you guys, okay?
Hey, we
Here's the
research it,
thing.
or about to advertise a phone.
Here's the thing,
She made
okay?
it today.
So they're saying because we don't know whether downtown belonga ko DSEC kapa ko NAC. So as a result, it could easily be classified as a private institution since no one is taking formal ownership, right? Now, here's the interesting
Is that
part.
an assumption?
No,
Is that a statement?
This is the
Is that
statement.
official?
I'm not too sure.
From Sunday
I'm
World,
reading from Sunday World. So here's another thing that Sunday World wrote. Another insider added, this institution was always treated as a cash cow by the former CEO and his CIFSA friends, okay? At the time, he was the acting CEO of Downtown. Eventually, CIFSA became like an ATM for Downtown. Whenever they needed funds, they would contact CIFSA and CIFSA would pay. At one point, they owed millions of rands to the city of Johannesburg for electricity, and CIFSA covered the bill. Salaries for board and staff members also came from CIFSA. Essentially, DSEC would transfer funds to CIFSA, which would then pay on behalf of Downtown. It was a very strange and corrupt arrangement
Kanti
by
CIFSA is
Sunday
sukuyifunda.
World, not Ivan Tiso.
CIFSA is a funder now.
Asas.
It funds and pays people. CIFSA is paying people now.
I'm shocked.
So,
I don't know
no,
what's
but
going on.
With the electricity and the lifts, I think you mentioned something about the lifts.
But how does CIFSA, get involved in this thing? That is my question. Because CIFSA was a federation for the artists. It represented the artists. I do understand that. But I think there was a statement that I read at some point. I think the former president, CIFSA, he said, we did that. He agreed to the statement. We did that just to save the institution. But I don't, I can say procedure. Maybe I thought that
Maybe.
You don't
No,
know
it's
anything
not
about it.
It's
Okay.
a once in a while, we are going to challenge it. I run.
Yeah, no,
I don't
let's-
want
But
to
I
be
think
a-
maybe Gaten must do it deeper.
Talking
and tell
about
us.
Gate and Mackenzie, ki ola o terminate contract ya silapa.
Ah, we are half, hello?
The 18 million round ya
I
silapa.
care about it in Chair Silapa. It was a good concept,
It was.
but I think it's either artists were not going for it, or going for help, or I don't know.
But celebrities. Imagine as a celebrity, you go to Silapa, or you're khafanyana, and then now with your khafing, you need free help, and then you get free help. People are starting taking pictures.
What's wrong with that?
No, the thing is, as a celebrity, you go there to a mental institution, and then people are taking pictures. You start trending. What you're using a free institute.
What's wrong with that
you
though?
need healing.
But
Get
I think
Get pride.
Silapa was a good idea, guys.
It was.
Yes.
Sometimes we need to accept, because
It
it's a
was.
wellness program, right?
Yeah.
It is.
Aren't we all, or I'll count myself, you know, me and some like me, you know, having problems. It's either depression, stress, various illnesses. So
Yeah.
Silapa was meant to address those things.
Yeah.
Maybe it might be the interpretation of the concept that went wrong. But you
Maybe.
can't say Silapa was a bad program.
Also, I think.
So we don't know why it was
Yeah, I
cancelled.
also think a
I
lot
just
of-
don't know. But
Yeah.
for me, any wellness program is a good
So
program.
Yeah.
Silapa was supposed to deal with mental health,
Yeah.
substance abuse, financial
Anxiety.
management, and legal matters. And I remember I once called Silapa because I was going through some financial crisis and I needed an advice.
Nazo.
Yes, I'm
They
being
went.
honest. I'm
They
not a
went.
celebrity. I'm a celebrity,
and
but
then
I'm
what
wrong.
happened?
I can say it because
What happened?
I'm an
And then
artist.
what? Yes.
So
Yes.
what happened?
Izanas.
The phone rang.
Ulukazi.
The phone kept on ringing until someone answered the call.
Okay.
And when they answered the call, I explained my situation, and the person was like, "Yo, yes, insisine." I don't know Zulu very well, but she was speaking Zulu. Yes, insisine. Inking zakho yo ziningi, yes. I'll see what I can do, but
Ay,
we'll call you
wena.
back. That's what I was told.
Are you
And ever
sure?
since I've been
One
waiting.
gama like-
No.
Well, I can't
I
remember the
forgot.
name. I
Okay,
was
so,
stressed.
okay, so-
Wait, man, ke na le financial
Na-
crisis.
na-
Ye
kwa
batho,
mabitso
ke na le
ka-
nako mabitso ke a tlhanya nna.
Hi.
Ke batla thuso akere.
So yeah, man.
But talking about that, there's quite a number of artists that said they called Silapa many a times and they couldn't get help.
Is it?
But I don't think Mackenzie terminated the contract because of that. Akere, you remember the previous weeks he said Silapa ifilwe 18 million. And every month
3
was
years.
for 3 years.
For 3 years.
So every month it was
18
receiving
million for 3 years.
Yeah.
yeah, 18 million for 3
So
years.
that's not enough.
So
To
every
sustain
month,
Silapa.
every month
No,
was,
but I mean, they're basically saying it's 6 million a year. But I guess because people are not coming forth, maybe it might
Okay,
be
I want
more.
to understand something, Eva. Was it?
what was the contract
Was it
for? What was
wait,
their
Eva,
duty?
Eva.
You
this
said it,
18
Akere.
No, I said it, but then
Yeah.
it was dealing with mental issues, social substances, whatever. But then their job, was it to do campaigns, was to do awareness, or was it to give us money?
No, not the money part.
Why give you money?
If I'm in the
No.
financial crisis, if they were not meant to give us money, and it was just about the campaigning and, you know, answering the calls, helping us, giving us an advice, I would assume that 500,000 rand every month was going to be enough.
But I once referred someone to Silapa.
Rona re tseba ho calculate, Akere.
Yeah.
500 per month to run a call center. Is that what you're saying?
No, Silapa as a whole.
Because if or 500 times 10 gives you 5, and then plus 2 months, it's 6 million. So what do you do with the 500 in a month?
Well, I am saying to you, if you were to do one campaign in a month, like the ones that they did, they went to some lodge, and a lodge is how much? 60,000 rand,
They went
right?
to a lodge for what?
They went to different lodges to do their campaigns.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So the money might be little then.
Eh? But then Minister Mus came out with a report and showing us they were only spending less than 100,000 rand out of 500,000. So it means it was too much for them. Unless there was money laundering
No, but then
somehow.
it means that's why it couldn't reach its success. Because if you are saying they spend less than 100, meaning it was 1 million in a year. Because 100 times 12 gives you 1.2.
Yeah.
What are you saying? Sorry. What are you
You're
saying?
saying, hey, me and numbers, I'm just
Yes,
too quick.
yeah,
You are saying,
yeah.
no, Eva, you are saying,
Yeah.
listen to yourself. You're saying it was meant to be 500,000 per month, right?
Yeah.
5 times 12 gives you what? 6 million, right?
Okay.
And then you are saying the minister came back and said they actually spend less than 100 per month. So let's say you round it off, you say 100. 100 times 12 gives you 1.2.
Okay.
Meaning in 3 years it was only 3.6.
Okay, now I get you. I get you.
So meaning it wasn't enough.
It wasn't
But
enough.
why?
But even makes sense. She says for them it was enough
Yeah, it
because
was
they
enough
couldn't even
because-
use the
But
500.
why
Exactly.
close it?
Exactly.
Why cancel it?
they failed to account for the 18 million rand or whatever the amount that they got from the 18 million rand.
So same as other institutions.
Yeah,
like
but
there's
if you're
no
a minister,
accountability.
people are criticizing something you're not part of. The quickest thing to do is
It's
to just cancel it.
Yeah, cancel it.
Cut the noise.
You know? But here's the
Because
question.
the noise is coming to you.
But here's
And
the
you've got
question.
a government to run. What are you going to do?
But what
Of
about the
course.
people who are being helped by Silapa? We don't know the number of people who are helped by Silapa.
They
But
failed to give us the reports. Actually, they failed to report, isn't it?
Yeah.
They failed to report. So why are we still having it? And I'm not going to beat about the bush here. I can take it about protect.
I want to refer someone
I
to
wanted to be part of
No, it's
Silapa.
not like we are protecting, but we are
Yes.
just putting facts. Remember,
Exactly.
and I'm not here to
Yeah.
bash anyone.
If I
No,
want
but
I'm just here to...
anyone.
refer
I'm giving
someone
my
to
personal
Silapa.
experience.
And
Yeah.
they got help. They even went to a rehab somewhere, stayed there for 3 months. Silapa was
Via
helping
Silapa.
that person. Yeah, through Silapa.
Then they should come out and say, these are the many people that we've helped, and this is what they went through, this is the program that we gave them, blah, blah,
Let's
blah,
give
blah.
them time. When was this?
No, there's no time. The contract is cancelled. Now the question is, if Mackenzie cancels the contract here, Silapa, where are we going to get help with regards to all of this?
I'm sure they will come up with another one. But remember, you as an industry as well are making a mistake. Instead of saying the program was good, you guys are just celebrating that it was cancelled.
No.
But you can't cancel a wellness program.
No, it's not a nice thing.
It's true.
Speaking of cancellation,
You are right. Before they are very happy. But then they don't realize what we've lost at some
You
point.
can't be happy that
you
your
know?
help has been cancelled.
But I also feel like government, they don't think enough. We've got the Department of Social Development.
Okay.
We've got the Department of Health that are offering these kinds of help. Why can't they just partner together? Just so that they can save money, because we are complaining as artists that we don't have enough budget in our industry. So if DSEC can sit with DSD, social development, and say, these are the problems that our artists are having, how about we partner and you help them at some point? Because then it means we're going to get all of this for free. And now think about it, social development, it's all over the country. Wouldn't that be easier for us, honestly speaking? And then we take that 18 million rand and just sponsor some of the projects that we are doing.
So you're basically saying there shouldn't be a
Private.
wellness program in other departments. It must be the responsibility
No, I'm
of...
not saying that. I'm just thinking.
You know, your way
Uguti.
of thinking just kills me.
No.
No, the thing is, I understand how government operates, and I'm glad we always have these conversations because they help. Because just now, one day, somebody's going to say, there must be a department of events. Any department that wants to do events must go to that department of events.
No, it's not going to work.
So
But
what's wrong
work.
with each and every department having an events division? There's nothing wrong. So even with the wellness, you can't say they must just take the responsibility to social development, because social development now on its own has got its own problems.
A lot.
I do understand, but all I'm saying is that we've got so many challenges as the industry, and this department, we feel like they are not utilizing the money where they're supposed to. No, don't. I'm trying to gather my thoughts.
Oh, wow.
I'm trying to gather my thoughts here.
So-
but remember,
Yeah.
I was the ambassador yanto what you call this campaign?
What?
Yeah, because community safety, right?
Okay.
And in some programs, we used to work with the Department of Social Development, and it worked very well. And I realized that the Department of Community Safety was saving money, was saving budget. And they could take that money and utilize it somewhere else. Why can't we do the same?
They were saving.
Yeah, they were saving.
What do you mean they were saving?
Instead of hiring the private company to do the program, they would rather go to DSD and say, DSD, how about how you assist in this regard?
Okay, that's interesting.
Yes.
If you are saying they were saving, were they meant to save
No, they were
or
not meant to
utilize?
save in a way. They were not meant to save in a way, but all I'm saying
Or
is
are you
that
trying to say they were reducing the cost?
they were reducing the cost.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm
Thank
just
you.
double-checking, you know the language.
Islungu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
English, guys.
But that's what we can do. That's what we could do as well as the department. I feel like this department, they are not willing to partner with other organizations. Remember, there's too many organizations that are working with DSD and Department of Health, which they could also partner with because they get payment for them and they get contracts for those. Why not? Let's
Could
talk
work.
about McG.
Could be a
Anyway,
solution.
Could be a
solution.
McG, go diragala.
What's that? What did you say?
She's saying what happened with McG.
What
So
happened?
McG's contract with DSTV didn't get renewed. We don't know what are the reasons. And he did explain, it's just DSTV, guys. You know, it's okay. So they lost that contract. But he has 3 other channels. What is it?
Shows.
Shows.
Let me
yes,
ask you a question.
3 other shows.
Are
that
they
he played.
already on DSTV?
They were on DSTV. I think the first.
When do they play?
I don't know. You know.
So
the
you don't
the
have
first
facts about what
season-
you guys are discussing?
No,
I
the
don't
first
have this
season
TV
of
show.
Podcasted Chill
So I don't know.
was on DSTV, but they didn't renew the contract for the second season because of whatever reasons that we don't know. But because McG has, under his channel, he has other shows, so there's 3 other shows that are left there. They just removed the one that McG is in.
You know,
so
I'm
he
still not
didn't lose the
answered.
contract.
Where
They
do
lost
they
the
play?
contract. And DSTV.
I don't know.
When?
the
On which
channel.
day? Which channel? Which?
Guys, do you know
I
the
don't watch
channel?
TV. Does anyone know?
Mzansi Way too. I don't have DSTV, so I've got
Mzansi Way
Netflix,
too.
only Netflix and Showmax.
So they have a special channel.
Yeah. They have a special channel.
And I'm Zantuwet.
Oh, and Mzansi Way too. Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, because
I get you.
sometimes you might say
Are you
something is
looking
a
for
loss
something?
for somebody,
She checking.
whereas
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a gain for him. It's
this
actually
show
a-
is big.
He is.
It is.
So
That's why he was laughing
don't need
about it
him.
when he was actually explaining.
sometimes you might be saying somebody's what contract, whereas Kanti, that's what you wanted.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
if it doesn't,
But now it's sad for.
you remember when you guys said there was a contract, and I said, is it the right thing to do though? Because you have your own thing that's already working.
Yeah.
And you want to take it somewhere. So he might have been smart and found a way of getting out of it.
Maybe. But now it's a loss again for DSTV, I think. You know? Multi-choice alone is sinking. It's losing a lot of people, a lot of numbers of subscribers. So now with the McG thing, they've also lost more subscribers. And
What do you mean they lose subscribers? Subscribers of what?
of DSTV.
The
Haibo.
dish itself?
Yes, people are
Here's
disconnecting.
one of them that's not subscribing.
People are
But it's not
disconnecting.
because of
This one.
Oh, it's McG.
But wait, Google. I don't know if I'm right or wrong here. When McG joined DSTV, don't you think some of his followers on YouTube went and subscribed? And just because he lost that
Now
part
they're
of the
pulling
contract and they're
out.
pulling out.
Yeah, but let me ask you a
'Cause
simple
we can't
question.
say-
It was also part of saving.
Let me
in a
ask
So
way.
we
you a
can't say
question.
maybe DSTV
Saving
lost,
multi-choice.
actually.
It did.
Yes, sorry?
Is
Yeah.
it not, I was going to say, why would you go subscribe to just go watch it there when it's still on YouTube?
Some people don't have access to YouTube. Remember, abanye abantu baslow la ngaphandle. They still stuck on the DSTV.
I'm one of those.
100
And it could be
rand,
cheaper. It could be
DSTV.
cheaper as
And
well.
it's 100 rand angithi mos.
It could be cheap as well.
Mzansi
To
wethu,
go
yeah.
to.
Yes, watching YouTube can be expensive for other people.
Yeah.
If you snap, can give via or can give vava.
But I get
What do you
it.
call
Viv.
Vuma? Yes, if it's not Vuma.
But
you
I
know.
see
Yeah.
a big revival of the channel because didn't they say they were bought?
Of what? Of DSTV?
Yeah, didn't Canal Plus buy them? Yeah.
So,
Well,
No, I thought they said
DSTV
Canal
users
Plus
for-
bought them. No, I think
don't
they're now.
want.
I thought they were bought by Canal Plus. As we are talking, somebody
it?
must Google it. no?
yeah.
I think they might have been sold to Canal Plus.
Is it?
Oh,
Yes.
is it? Oh,
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
know.
I think
I had
so.
no
I might be wrong.
idea. I know DSTV, I can't really.
I don't.
So, yeah, I have no idea. But talking about Chris Brown now, actually, you know a lot about Chris Brown. I know you went to the stadium where you flying with
Boy, now I was just sitting there getting passenger princess.
him. Yes, the one.
Passenger
Only the wife.
princess.
Yeah, you went. Let's talk
So
about this
Chris
wife.
Brown,
Yeah.
Mr. I want you to listen to this, ne?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah. So Chris Brown is a public figure, very well famous, is good for music and dancing and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
So there's this lady who's huffing, you know?
Yeah.
Huffing, I mean,
Okay.
yeah, you know. She actually opened Instagram account, Twitter account, whatever, calling herself Chris Brown's wife 777. right?
Okay.
Started posting stuff about Chris Brown and whatnot, right? So now Chris Brown, the team Breezy, they actually went on and started attacking her on social media, saying she's a stalker, she's crazy. So Chris Brown saw that video that she posted, right? And then what Chris Brown did, he reposted that. And then but so she got angry. Now she's suing Chris Brown for $30 million.
Iban.
Yeah, for defamation of character, for abuse on the social media. And she's also demanding a public apology from Chris Brown. So the Chris Brown's team hasn't really said anything about that because they're Mafokate, you know.
But in the first place, why would she call herself wife here, Chris Brown?
She's a groupie.
Oh, she's a groupie.
She's one of those crazy groupies. Mr. A, have you never received one of the crazy groupies?
I'm scared to talk about it. No, I'm scared to talk because those close to me know that she ended up coming. Me. Those ones, I'm scared. Everybody that has been with me for years will know my stories.
Yay. Yeah, so the girl, she's
Hence,
open
I'm
the
saying
case.
that, you know,
Yeah.
it's not going to end nicely.
It's
Whatever
not.
it is, it's not going to
And
end
it's not
nicely.
for her because now she's bamtuga.
Abantu, ne?
Yeah, they're like, uyahlanya wena. You're not even Chris Brown's type.
But I also think she's crazy.
You know that's
as
going to
well.
make it worse.
Yeah.
What?
Because now you are taking her, Akira.
No, I'm not. I don't
No,
even
no, I'm
know
saying-
her. Or the
social
public.
media,
ne?
yeah.
And speaking about
And she might
groupies,
kill herself.
there's- Yeah.
Please don't, girl. Please
Baningi abantu
don't.
abahafayo la ngaphandle. Omunye wenza i-tattoo lana enyaweni yaka Big Zulu.
Well, Aibo,
She
akogile plank.
No, when's the tattoo enyaweni? I saw the thing on Twitter.
But
Yaka
why
Big
do you
Zulu.
say Mutuakafa when you admire somebody?
Okay, admire. That's
There's a
good.
tattoo there.
No, that's my son.
And you find it normal?
Yes, it's my son.
It's your son.
Yeah.
And then
Having a tattoo.
he's my hero. I put Beyonce. She's my hero.
Wow.
Hey,
And then Big Zulu said,
yeah.
thanks. Oh, that's so nice. Uthini manje ngesiZulu ngiyabonga. That's so nice. How did, sorry, something. But how do you actually say that it's a nice thing? Having
Why
a
not?
tattoo. No, okay. I'm a khafist, ne? I know how these people, I know how they operate. You know? No, the thing is, she's happy now. Ne? I'm
She's happy.
Yeah, for now.
Yes.
She's like, yeah, Big Zulu, Big Zulu. And then Big Zulu does something as Omkwatis. What is she gonna do? How
Or
is she
maybe she
gonna
wants to
cover
get
that?
married.
No.
Or maybe
Those
she wants
people
to
are
get married to
artists.
somebody
ne?
else.
They're artists. They will recreate something there. They will do jab on top of that thing. Uyadlala wena.
Mara wena o ka thola girlfriend e le gore na le leina la motho o mongwe a ba re ke ne le group ya gagwe o ka etsang?
Yo, I know of one. So me, these stories that you guys are talking about.
But I just don't get it. Why would you obsess over someone that you will never have in your life?
Let people love people.
Hayi
first.
hle
Lona le
batho.
kena kae?
Ke botlhanya man.
Next thing
Aowa.
uzoba su Big Zulu naye for 30 million la ukuthi Big Zulu say 1 2 3 4 5. And the
Yeah.
tattoo is ugly. Ngathi yenza ubani baba lo rasta. And it's an ugly tattoo.
But the story is that Chris Brown.
Kumara stupid.
I'm just wondering, Morna, Chris Brown, why?
You know, Rasta is my friend.
I know. I remember he painted you as well.
Festival ya hona
The Night of
drawing.
Legends. Did that at the
Can
portrait.
I get a festival here not with legends?
Yeah.
He brought a drawing ya ata.
saw
Yo,
it.
try I think I really dinaga.
Hands off Rasta. Hands off
eh.
Rasta. Hands off Rasta.
But I want to talk about Chris Brown going back
Yeah.
there. He's about to do a tour, or I don't know if he's already
Yeah,
on a
it's
tour.
starting in June.
Yeah, but why all these stories are coming out now? Like, I'm just wondering.
Wait, I'm just curious, because
Yeah.
I'm a fan of Chris Brown. Yeah?
Yes.
Is he out of jail now?
He is. He got
Yes.
bail. Yo,
When?
Can I have $5 million?
$5 million
Dollars or pounds?
Yeah, I think
Yes,
in dollars it's like 20
Exactly.
something. Yeah, so they're holding that amount. Bethanga baleki. But that's in a passport yakhe.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
So, uzothola kanjani manje?
how's the bunny plan?
Uzobona plan.
Uzobona plan.
Having money is something else.
It's
huh?
crazy.
It's
And now because
crazy.
this tour yakhe UK,
Yeah.
people already bought tickets and so they had to pop out their money for bail. They had to because now people were so disappointed. Like how so now we paid, so we can't actually watch our hero performing. And now it's so sad with Chris Brown. I feel like there's some people or someone powerful trying to bring down all these black excellent men.
You know, I nearly said, guys, at the rate it's going at, are we going to have black performers left that have got a good legacy.
No.
Because I feel like
No. Black excellence, someone is just destroying it. I don't want to get in trouble. I think I have an idea
no,
to buy,
the
but I don't
reason
wanna
I'm
get in
saying
trouble.
this, ne, I feel like the trend is just growing. Even here, it's coming into the country
Yeah.
where legacies are crushed.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
it's a sensitive thing that I have to say. You know, it's you look at the life of Presley,
Yeah.
Yeah.
how it ended.
Yeah.
And the question that remains is, was he guilty or was he not?
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And recently we heard about Selailo Seluta.
Ah, yes.
You know,
the SIA
so
thing. Yes.
my question is, how many more?
A lot more. Black excellence is a threat to them. I'm not gonna say who and why, how, but black excellence. Look, it started in America. Bill Cosby have been prosecuted. R. Kelly, Shannon Sharp now. A lot of them now. Chris Brown, you know.
Yeah.
And I read somewhere someone 50 Cent, you know, did mention.
But on
Korea.
another hand,
Yeah.
we need to say the law must take its course.
Of course. Because it doesn't mean they're famous, therefore they cannot be accused of
Yeah,
the
because
wrong
if
things
you,
that they're
if
doing.
you
Yeah.
also look at it that way,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it might mislead you.
Yeah, I understand what you guys are saying, ne? But now, coming to R. Kelly, he
Yeah.
started wanting his masters for I Believe I Can Fly. And he started questioning, why are my songs being released without my permission? Remember, he was signed, I think, under Sony, if I'm not correct.
Yeah.
I stand to be corrected, you know?
Yeah.
So now, he started wanting his masters because he didn't own his masters. And this guy, Wako Sony, well, you can't. We own you, and I Believe I Can Fly. He was supposed to be filthy rich with I Believe I Can Fly, but now he can't because he started wanting his monies, and now, but someone is holding his monies. So now in America, I'm gonna say allegedly, but in America, when you start wanting your money,
Yeah.
they bring you down. Michael Jackson, they did the same thing. Sony wanted to buy masters to the Beatles. When Michael Jackson refused, and Michael Jackson started questioning all of that, they said, so deal now. So they remove you. It's either they kill you or they find files of you.
So would you say it's the same story with PDD?
PD9 and I'm a baby oil. I have no
I'm just asking because, I mean, when he started talking, then they said they came after him.
Yeah.
Right?
But it could be maybe he pissed off someone.
But
It's like that.
Don't you think it was a good thing that he pissed off someone, because then all these other stories that are coming out, I wouldn't really approve of them.
Yeah, I don't
You know?
approve of them as well, but
Yeah.
I'm going again to the black excellence
Okay.
thing. When you piss off someone or you don't agree with certain people,
Yeah.
they're going to try by all means to bring you down.
Okay.
Yeah, they bring you down as much as they can.
Just like Mushito. Mushito has been doing a very good job
Yeah.
as a music conference in South Africa.
Yeah.
You know, and now when they're supposed to get something, mhlambi ba apply it to the MGE, and someone is coming out and say they've been given 30 million from DSEC and they are unable to account for it.
And the question is, how do they fund Mushito when they've never held AGMs? They've never held meetings?
No, the question is, have they reported? Because DSEC cannot give out the money to an organization that is not giving out reports. So Mushito chairperson obviously wrote something to someone,
Hey, I have it.
you know.
You know,
record.
I
And
always
say-
say, ne, you know, topics like this, ne,
Yeah.
why they are always difficult for one to indulge in, because, like I always say, 3 sides of the story.
Okay.
Yeah.
At the moment, you always take what the media say.
Yeah.
You know, lucky with me, I still get to interview the other party.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm always curious to know the real final.
But how do we
story
know
where-
that this real story is actually real? Like, who's going to come and tell
If
us
it's
the
in
truth?
court, then obviously you just hope that.
So maybe let's redeem ourselves here.
Yeah.
There's a letter that was written on the 5th of May 2025
Yeah.
to Mushito.
Yeah.
And it's kindly requesting the reports for the money that has been given to Mushito.
Yeah.
But I'm not too sure because it's not specified there. I think, was it equal, the amount, is it 30 million or 5 million? I think it's the recent amount. I'll just check
30
again.
million in total.
30 million in total, right?
Because here there's a breakdown
Yes.
of the monies from
Of the monies that were issued.
2015,
And there's the letter
2016.
from DSEC.
Yeah.
It's not something that we're thumb
Let me
sucking,
do
right?
this. Let me do this.
And then the journalist then
Yeah.
writes and says, DSEC is about to terminate the contract,
Yeah.
Mushito, mainly because they are failing to report. But then the chairperson of Mushito comes back to the journalist and says,
wrote to the
why
journalist.
are you putting this headline that is misleading?
Yeah.
Mainly because we have been given the reports. Why don't you come back to us? And then the industry says, okay, fine. There's Mr. Sitole, right? Who was also the former chairperson of Mushito. And then he came and reported and said, during my tenure as a chairperson, we have reported accordingly. Mushito have utilized the money the way it's supposed to be utilized. But then when I left, I realized that there was no AGM anymore by Mushito board.
Yeah, but you know.
So I want to
But you know, Mushito was in order, guys, and I started attending Mushito since 2017.
So are you saying it's not in order now?
Aye.
Okay, that's according to
But
you.
I know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is,
You know?
I feel like we have
There's a
beautiful,
letter that,
we have beautiful programs in
He
the
wrote
country.
to the journalist, the chairperson of Mushito.
I feel like we have beautiful programs in the country like Mushito Music Conference. Because honestly speaking, Mushito has done a lot for the industry. A lot of musicians have been launched through Mushito, right? And we just need to correct the leadership. Because today we have the right leadership. Tomorrow we have this semi-correct leadership. Tomorrow we've got the bad leadership.
Not even correct, just change leadership.
And it's literally killing all these beautiful programs that are ought to be supported, and artists, they need them.
You know, when I started attending Mushito since 2017, Budvusi plugged me with Mushito.
Okay.
Right? And they said, no, go to Mushito and just network as much as you can. I was still a student then. I was still a music student then. You know, I want to be you know, but I went there. I started networking. That's when my actually connection started building from there. Because when I met Babsi Postole, and then he started giving me free rehearsal space at Native Rhythms, you know. And then I kept my connection kept growing through Mushito. So I don't want it to be cancelled. I don't think that Gaten should even think about that. You know, I hope they resolve
the issue.
Yeah, I hope they resolve the issue, because a lot of students, especially in the music industry, music students are actually, Mushito is actually their hope. You know what, if I go to Mushito, I know I'm going to meet Ata, I'm going to meet so-and-so, I'm going to meet most Java and whatnot, you know, and I'm going to network. So if they kill Mushito, they are killing hope of many people.
No, you are right. You are right. And Mushito yafaneka the report. The chairperson says the reports were given, right?
Yeah.
Mari, AGM is very important. This has been said by someone who was the chairperson of Mushito. So AGM, that's where also the decisions are made.
Yeah.
So now, if there's no reports, the minutes of the AGM, how did then DSEC continue to give the money to Mushito? As I'm saying, there's a beautiful program. We don't want it to be cancelled, but let's also look at the wrongs that we are doing as the leaders in the industry.
Cancel
Now,
what?
that is my
This
say.
show?
Mushito.
Mushito. Where are you? Or someone
We will summon him.
just like the
for not
portfolio
being
committee.
present.
For not being present in this.
The thing is, I'm sitting here and I'm listening, and you are all saying what you're saying, but you know, I love Mushito. I've been a board member at Mushito. You understand? And the question that she raised makes sense of the AGM. And you can't sit here and not think all other workshops are not important.
Yeah.
There's other workshops that are also doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know, conferences and people doing these things need to sit down and reflect and say, do we still have a reason to exist?
Exactly.
Why are we existing?
Yeah.
Are we doing things the right way?
Exactly.
Because it's okay to defend, but then on one hand you're saying, she's raising an issue of an AGM. How do you defend it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. When it's in the constitution.
Yeah.
True.
You know?
Yeah.
So sometimes it's a bit difficult, guys. I think, it's tough.
Very.
I don't even know what to say, but it's tough.
Yeah, it is tough. And
We want all to exist, but
Yeah.
within certain conditions.
Well, I guess
But I
all good
also,
things
but I
come
also
to an
feel
end.
there is some kind of an attack, you know, towards the industry. We have protested recently as the sector, Ratsama submit our memorandum to the president and DSEC, right? Then suddenly the story is about SAMIC. The story is about SIFSA. The story is now about Mushito. The story is about the people who are...
So did those stories start after you guys marched?
No, actually,
Exactly, that's why I'm
2
trying to...
weeks.
I'm
3
trying
weeks, 2
to...
weeks. 2 weeks or 3 weeks, guys, before the match. Let's be honest.
Okay, let's just say
Tell us
Gaten is
about it.
digging
Wait,
deep
wait,
again.
wait. Tell us
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah?
Not taking morning.
How did they attack you and why do you think they are attacking you?
I just feel like if these problems were there, why were they not addressed 2 years back?
2 years back, there was a different minister. Now
I
there's
was
a
gonna
different
say that.
minister.
Okay, why were they not addressed last year?
By who?
Keda.
Eh?
By who?
By the media.
So are you saying the media is the one, the minister is the one writing them?
Not the minister.
Okay.
I'm saying
so
media.
what are you suspecting?
I'm suspecting gore go na le something yana mane
Foul
diragalang.
play.
Ke eng?
Go na le
What's-
foul
what-
play.
yeah,
I'm
what do you
just,
suspect?
I don't know. I feel like there are people ba ileng gore ba batla ba dichomi tsa minister.
So
Right?
bayapimpana?
And now by pimpana.
Amamenemene,
Ke
I always say.
mamenemene. That's how I feel, honestly speaking. And then how to check ane the leaders tse bantshanang ba mo Sami ke mang? Ke Vosi, right? And then Mushito ke bo Stene, right? And then kana Sipsa ke bo mang? Ke bo Luzuko, bo Joy, right?
Yeah.
But now this very same people, they're in the very same group here, MGE. And
So
I'm
what's your point?
Balwa
I'm trying to
bota.
understand.
So you're saying balwa bota
My
kahle
point
kahle.
is, I feel like there are people who wants to befriend the minister. There are people who wants to paint themselves good to the
Out
minister.
of all these groupings that you mentioned,
Yeah.
who would be that,
I'm still
suspect?
searching. I'm still searching. But the suspect is among that group.
And Batlabe Bapatlang from the minister.
I think I have an idea, Mara. Hey,
We
But
have
what
a,
would they be looking for?
we have a problem ka gore if re batla funding from the minister or the DSEC or DSEC, re batla befriended a politician.
yeah.
Ka mabitso a batho ba bang,
Keda.
But is
which
the
is not
politi-
okay.
Okay.
Which is not okay. It happened before, it's still happening, and I'm telling you, it's still going to happen.
The thing is with you guys,
right
it's
now
like
there's
even
a new
one-
group. There's a new group that has been created. We don't know with this group. It's okay. What are they representing?
Evh'a-
Whereas there's still an MGE
Yeah.
group, and we always cry about politicians dividing us as the industry, as the artists, but we don't realize that we're actually divided amongst
But
ourselves.
even you know what I'm thinking? I think
Ibaliana
just,
is wrong.
yeah.
How am I
You are
wrong?
wrong.
Look,
People
Eva-
have got a right of association.
No, we have the right, but listen, guys.
Just because you guys are running a certain WhatsApp group, then all of us must fall within. Le a rintsha, lo rintsha ko group. Mina bankipile izolo. Bankipile, so
No,
nikhalela
not out of order. but
Out of order for posting my
relevant
podcast.
Topic. It was relevant.
for posting my podcast.
No,
Mina, if you don't want to watch my
People are not
podcast,
full- exactly.
remove me.
Exactly.
Yes, but I'm not here to beg to be in a WhatsApp group.
You know what's funny?
That's
ne?
why
They
we're
removed
removing
him.
But
they
you are
brought him
worried
back, they
that
removed him
yeah,
again.
but you worried that we must join one WhatsApp group. What for?
Respect the rules, comrades.
Yeah, man, I'm not. Man, anybody in
the
this country
rules.
knows that I market my product.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know what, ne?
Exactly.
You can't tell me that you talk about Moshito, ne?
Yeah.
They talk about Moshito, right?
They did.
They talk for 2 days.
500
And then when I come with my podcast and say,
it's true.
here's the issue of Moshito.
And Moshito.
They say, out. Me, oh, with pleasure. Me, I live. Me, I live.
No, whenever we learn
I don't have a problem with these things. It's like the same thing like when one of us, one artist gets funding and then the whole world starts fighting that person.
Yo.
Guys,
true.
stop the
It's
jealousy.
true.
But you know what?
But
even
that's what I'm
Allow
saying.
people to do what they
yeah.
wanna do.
You, saw,
You
you know
guys,
about
man,
this
hi.
Moshito, Samik, Stifsa. I think finally, I'm not a fan like Katie.
Yeah.
You know, and everyone who knows me, they know
You're wearing
that.
green though.
Green is just a color.
Okay. Just
So
saying.
it just felt like, you
Yeah.
know, but he's
You
doing.
could have said it's the other green.
And this one is the other one.
We know that one. That
Kanti
one.
mara yini?
That
Ay,
one.
Mara
Kulima,
keni?
Kulima, make your point. Just leave him.
No, I feel like finally we have a
That one.
minister.
That green.
Kupojela muni ya gago tu.
That green we know.
Okay.
I feel like finally there's a minister who's actually doing something.
Yeah.
And ungabhayisikele msaka anybody.
Yeah.
Akabhayisikele mlo baba lo, you know. With other ministers, I'm not gonna say whatever, ne? For example, you from Free State. You get a minister from Free State. I hope you guys are gonna get me, ne? You get a minister from Free State, sharp. Chomi, funding. I fund a funda, and then you get 3 million, I take 1 million. You know, that's what I think has been happening. That's what I think has been happening.
Okay.
So now that we have a minister who doesn't just take any crap from anybody, he's like, no, I'm not gonna do this thing in. This corruption that you guys have been pushing or whatever, I'm not part of it.
Are you sure he's not taking any crap from anybody?
As far as maybe from
Because
elders,
remember, people can
you
take
know?
craps in different ways.
Yeah, maybe from elders somewhere or wherever, you know. But
From elders.
maybe. But now he's actually exposing
Okay.
things that we should have known from Dala.
Yeah.
From the time when Fikile Mbalula was the minister, Uguza Ganj.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I partially side with you on this one. Mackenzie just came yesterday, which was last year, right? And he found some people who have already came up with programs. I'm not too sure who's doing this to us. Is it us or hey, Bona, Arwega Mackenzie.
Le reng lona?
Hey man, yeah. Guys, better distracted. But anyway, let me come back to the topic. So you're right when I Google.
Yeah.
Somehow I feel like Crusher
Ke
Mackenzie.
Matshepo o busy wa jaipa mo pela camera.
Is it?
Yebo baba.
Like
Scooter
really
baba.
That's why she nearly fell.
I feel like we need to give Mackenzie some time, right? Remember Mackenzie, he came on board after, was it after Zizi Gotwa, right?
Yeah.
And Zizi came after Nati, and there were programs that were in place already. And now Mackenzie needs to deal with that, you know, I don't know, I don't want to say a burden or baggage in a way, but there's quite a lot of things that have been happening before he came. And he's trying by all means, like look at Silapa. Silapa, if people were underspending, why should he keep the program?
Yeah.
And after he canceled this whole thing, why people complain? Because probably maybe he's got a new thing that will actually answer to our problems. It will be the answer to our problems. You understand what I'm trying to say? We've been crying about regulating the industry. And the very same people, I think I did mention this in the previous episode, we were the very same artists who asked him to come up with a plan. And we also gave him a plan.
Yeah.
And now that the sectors are here, people who are not part of the sectors are starting to complain. Why are we complaining? Why not give him a chance and see where is he going to take us with the sectors? Exactly. But the only thing that I'm against is that Minister, he still needs to give us some time. He still needs to give us some time. He must be there for us. He must listen to our cries. Not to say, report.
You said that.
Hey, when you've got a good memory.
That's what he said. Giovanni so much, it's fine, Machan, but come with the report.
But it's not as if some report. It's not as if it's much.
It doesn't matter. If it wasn't for that report, the match was not going to happen. And I said this last week, and I'm still saying it.
Remember, Evh'a, he was smart, no? Because on the logos, the first one, the little minister.
I rest my case.
Okay, wait. Next time, he's going to want reports of all
organizations. Yeah, you know.
Speaking of reports, Kerry Hilson is coming. And I saw Shamba, Mama Felicia Mabuza, Sham, big ups that she's still alive. We were saying but I'm happy to see her. She was the one announcing, Kerry Hilson is coming into South Africa. You know? But now my argument is, Kerry Hilson was famous. She was big, So why is South Africa a retirement home? When these artists are no longer relevant, now they are coming to South Africa.
I'm going to ask you a very simple question.
Okay.
If I go to perform in Malawi today, do you expect them to say what you're saying about me?
It's only you. It's not you and them. About Chico, Nabo Banbani.
Asazi.
You
What
know?
if they are all going?
The question is,
If they were popular in a certain country and they've got a market, you're going back to the very same thing that you are doing about provinces.
Okay.
You look at a market, you're selling a product, and if the product is wanted, you take the product where it's wanted. If the Americans are tired of her, and South Africans can still consume her music, why not?
But we wanted her when she was still in her peak.
my problem is one. I hear your
Didn't
point.
she come?
No, she's never.
She came once.
She came once.
No.
Who's that
quite
one that
cold.
came and then went into Big Brother? Is it not her?
No, it's not.
That's her, eh?
No.
No, man, she came and she went
Which one?
it wasn't Kerry Hilson.
No?
Which one is Kerry Hilson? Let me Google.
Yeah, check.
Nah, man.
Nice, beautiful lady like Eva.
Yes! The beautiful one went crawling, go Big Brother. I'm being honest. If she came, she went to Big Brother. Guys, don't you know?
And when was this? The crawling parts.
She went to Big Brother, man.
Not the only problem that I have with this American
I'm right.
artist.
Yes!
Carrie Hilson.
Yes!
Uh-oh.
Carrie Hilson.
Oh, wow.
Guys, I used to watch TV. She went to Big Brother. There was a party or something. Ne? And then she came out of nowhere and the contestants were like, hey.
But was she crawling though?
And you guys don't know. You see,
She was
you
crawling
guys
though.
don't know. She came when she was hot.
Is
That's my
it?
favorite.
So,
John Legend.
yes.
Oh,
I
saw the
remember
Carrie
her.
Hilson.
I don't know what. She just came out of the bushes there in those houses. And I said, what? You know, I used to watch TV. Ne? I used to watch Big
Brother,
Brother. Like,
even
yeah, I'm recording in studio like a Big Brother. I was so obsessed
Yeah.
with Big Brother.
Oh.
Mari, let's come back to your question.
Man.
Like another problem here, one these Americans. I'm not too sure if she's still relevant in America.
Famous.
No,
Ah,
no.
Nje.
The question
Declare
is,
later famous,
maybe
ne?
I need. Yeah, I know you're gonna
Let's
make us
declare later
famous. We're not gonna
Guys,
famous. Shall we?
Creative Talk must be famous for the sake of these ladies. Watch when, if it gets famous, the bitterness is going to be,
Mamela,
We are not bitter.
or the jealousy is going to be.
No, we're not jealous. I mean,
No,
I don't
not jealous.
understand, you know? Artists who are on their peak, they don't come to South Africa.
Says who?
Some of them they
No,
do,
but
some
they
of them
do,
they
yeah, some
don't.
Let me ask you a simple
But I
question.
can retirement
Let me
home.
ask you a question.
Yeah,
Is Beyonce at her peak?
She is.
she still
Okay.
is.
She still is.
And I mean,
Just
you know, ne? You know why I'm asking? No, no, no. Wait. Why I'm asking this question? Ne?
I'll show you Beyonce.
Let me ask you this question. Ne?
Behave.
Guys, why Lisaba Kikibu?
Oh, so
Okay, excuse.
How old is Kelelo? Kelelo, how old are you? 22 something.
Kelelo.
Okay. Kelelo is 22, ne?
yeah.
When Beyonce first came here,
Yeah.
Kelelo was not yet born, even though you went to the concert, my baby. She
Okay.
attended the concert, but she was not yet born. That was 22 years ago.
Okay.
Okay.
So, Kerry,
What?
yeah.
She was
you
still
understand, you must do your
in a
calculations,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But she was Beyonce, nje, with the beat. She knows the beat, yeah, Beyonce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that was 22 years ago, right?
Okay.
Ne?
Okay.
22 years ago.
Okay.
And then 22 years later, you still want Beyonce, right?
Yes.
Kerry, what?
Carrie Hilson.
Oqedile mo tsebane?
When? Dad, man.
No, but it's not 22.
No.
It's few years nyana ago. So,
Not really.
and you
No.
now
No.
call,
I
you
was-
now
I was
call
at
her a
tertiary
has-been.
level.
She is. When was the last time Carrie Hilson released something?
Yeah.
But would you then have a right to call her a has-been? If 22 years ago Beyonce was still rocking and 22 years later she's still rocking.
Beyonce's been releasing hits.
Okay,
after
just say you don't
hits
like her
after
music.
Hits
hits.
after hits.
Hits after hits. Okay, now my problem is I don't know America go dira galang ka di artists tse. And I think it's the same thing in South Africa in a way, right? I always feel like
lento yang phazamisa, sorry.
abase ba rejectilwe or ba lebetse ko America.
Ipere.
They come here.
Hey, some copy.
La
Keeps coming in my eye.
La
Usela
bora ke
wapere.
bua.
It's okay, I say question.
It keeps coming in my eye. I ain't see man. No, I'm like, no, man. Sorry.
Sorry, Anton. I reckon no coffee aga.
She's an
This one
alcohol.
in America.
What are you trying to say? Guys, I think it's getting late. You must go.
Yeah, no, I was saying, why
Ke
is
lekuba or lekuba nna?
no
Ke ntlo ya Mamvele, eh?
kiak?
Okay.
And you'll only leave
So
when I
rona
say
re
leave.
batla ho tsamaya, ge le
Okay.
kuku.
So I was saying, this American artist, I have a problem with the fact that when they get rejected or maybe when they get ostracized in their own country, they come here as if they're going to fundraise at some point.
Okay.
And I'm just thinking, some of our artists, can they go to America and still receive the same reception?
No.
Were they ever popular in America?
Yes.
Who?
Those are kept coming here.
Can our artists go to America and
Oh,
be received
no,
the same?
AKA. No, never. AKA, I remember AKA they tried to book him in America.
Yeah.
But they wanted to book him as an upcoming artist. So you're supposed to open for someone. So they didn't receive AKA. Hey, he told them
But you have
crap.
deviated from the question.
Topic, yeah.
Yeah,
well,
because-
the question. The question is,
Shame.
No, I thought she said, can our artists go to America
Yeah,
and
no,
be
you are
famous?
right. Yes.
So I'm
you
trying
are
to answer that
Also,
no.
But then his question was that those artists, were they famous in America now?
Oh, Gugu was just breaking
Yes.
it down.
Yeah,
that
but AKA was. Not too famous, but I think he was.
He
where in
was.
America?
Not too famous, but he was.
No,
Where?
they did like him. I have a friend in Baltimore. He liked AKA.
Isn't it? At least.
Remember, you know I'm a big fan of AKA. Ne?
Yeah.
Hence, I'm curious to know where in America was he popular that he would.
I'm not sure of where.
Okay.
But no,
She doesn't
then,
stay in America, so we
but
wouldn't
now
know.
the other thing
But
is,
then why is she talking on behalf of America?
She's got a friend in Baltimore and you don't have.
And the friend Jacob Baltimore, ke yona jwane e mo jwetsang hore we
Yes.
can go fill up venues.
Don't be
there.
jealous because you don't have
I'm
friends
not
in
jealous,
America.
but Jacob Baltimore.
no, but I'm trying to get to my point.
She has to go to Baltimore. I mean, really?
No, I'm trying to get to my point. Because our artists,
At least Speedy can talk about artists ya kwale. Speedy una lo shop around. Aplomele bona. You understand? Aplomele Cisco. When I've got a friend.
but I do.
But you know what? Before someone,
Yeah.
Let me look at this guy. I just find him so interesting. Is it Liam Jacobs or something like that? The DA parliamentary, the portfolio committee
The one
member.
who's always asking
On
those
our
tough
case,
questions.
yes, yeah. You know, because recently, Mackenzie was supposed to go to a meeting with NAC and what was the
You
other?
say on your case. What
Yeah.
did you do?
Yeah.
When you say he's always on our case?
No, he's always on our case, Shem, as a
Our
sector.
as who?
As a sector.
But
or
is he
the-
not
or
representing the
DSEC.
sector?
Eh? Who?
Liam.
Yeah, nah.
Well, he is, but I feel like he's good in terms of interrogating some of the things, but I feel like Unali some personal vendetta.
How old is
I think he's still young.
Ah,
eh?
he's
How
still
old is he,
learning.
guys?
He's-
Liam Jacobs?
It's
eh?
24.
He's 24.
He's still
yeah,
learning.
he's very young. But I love his line of questioning, right?
Okay.
But I just feel like lately it's all about now DA and PA in a way. You
Well,
know?
that's why our. Because we like
I
the
think
colours.
PA
Oh,
ke
kahle
buela
kahle
industry.
campaign. Shut the logo la.
Eish, mara lena
But the
mara-
PA
Because
lena
why is
PA
he
abahambe.
our like?
on our case as the industry,
industry.
not as the party. And I don't know
But
which
which
party
case
are you
was
talking
he
about.
against you as an industry?
Eh? Oh, sorry, sorry.
When was he against you
Eh?
as an industry?
No, the way he questions.
But when we ask you, you then say
Eish, what am
DA
I saying
versus
then, Nama
PA.
Razira?
O reng motho o?
Okay, guys,
Hey, man, now
guys,
I'm
it's okay,
O ka
it's
re
okay,
tshwaregile
it's okay. DJs and empowering young artists, guys. Good news.
But why are you deviating from the topic? Because it's very interesting, this topic.
But guys, you didn't get into it. Okay, okay.
The
And
point
it's getting
is,
late. She doesn't
yeah,
realize.
the point is that no, guys, wait. Let's educate our artists about this NAC thing.
Okay.
So, I think it was 2 days or 3 days ago. They went to the parliament. There was a meeting that was called between DSEC, NAC, and the portfolio committee. But I just can't
Can we
remember
leave
the
that
other.
for next week?
Why no? Why should
Because it's late. Kopaletsamaye.
okay, then.
Opportunities.
When I'm hoping to show something ya ka zintle.
Educate gore na batho ba wa ba thola tšhelete e kana kana.
Wena bofuna ukukhuluma ngozinhle lo uthanda ukupolitika too much.
Ke rata
What in-
dipolitiki vele.
Shem Uzintle, the Big Brother winner, they have a song together. So I like the fact that Zintle is actually grooming,
Empowering
and
other
empowering
artists.
young artists.
I
And
love
he's
that as
big
well.
and he's
Yeah.
mentoring many of them, which is good.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm happy for her and she's doing very well. You know, that's what I wanted to say about DJ Zintle.
No, I love that about her
Yeah.
as well. She's always launching a new artist every year, if not after every 2 years. You've launched how many? So many as well.
Yo, that
Big
look.
ups to you.
It's like, yo,
You know?
No, it's like she's feeling guilty that she's saying these things about other people. Guys, praise
No.
people, praise people. Me, I'm just happy that Z Nation, her festival is coming back.
Yeah, yeah.
Oskido's Big
Yeah.
Day is coming back.
Exactly.
I'm still praying that Night with Legends comes back.
Yes,
It
it
So
will.
Let
those
it
are
come
the
back.
3, and there's Casper's 1 as well.
The fill-up
Guys,
one, yes, the
yeah, well,
Loftus
this year.
Stadium.
Yo.
And there's the one Yaga Maporisa and Kabza the Small
You
also.
see, so
Exactly.
there's a lot that's happening. I'm to rato check up the script. Guys,
Look at
it was
this.
nice chilling with these ladies, and it's
Opportunity.
getting
No,
late
it's fine,
now,
it's fine,
so I have to check them out of the house. But it was great being with you guys.
Thank you.
Siyabonga,
Leadership,
siyabonga.
leadership.
Angeke.